Let us talk about the Son God. Long before Jesus of Nazareth was born, the ancient people knew that there is a spiritual essence in the Son, and that one day it will come directly to earth. The ancient people knew this. The occasion is therefore marked by celebration and homage to the Son God. For example, the religion of the Persians of those days pointed to Mithras. That of the Chaldeans pointed to Tammuz. The Old Norse gods foresaw the approach of the twilight of the gods, when Suta, the bright sun spirit, shall supersede them and a new and fairer order be established on Gimle, the regenerated earth. The Egyptians waited for Horus, the newborn sun. Mithras and Tammuz are also symbolized as solar orbs. They are connected with the sun. And all the principal temples were built facing the east, that the rays of the rising sun might shine directly through the open doors. And even St. Peter's Cathedral in Rome is so placed that the rays of the rising sun will go through first. All these facts show that it was generally known that the one who was to come was a sun spirit and was to save humanity. That is known in the olden days, prior to the birth of Jesus of Nazareth. Prior to the spiritual essence directly coming to earth, Jehovah God, who is the regent of all moons in our solar system, received first the spiritual energy from the sun before sending it to earth. Then humanity had not developed enough to receive it directly. So the ancient people knew about the spirituality of the sun. In Isaiah chapter 6 verse 8, we read, "Also I heard the voice of the Lord, saying, Whom shall I send? And who will go for us? Then said I, Here am I, send me." Why send me? Each individual's desire body is linked to that of the earth planet. A vast majority of humanity was unable to live by higher and lofty desires. Their lot was hatred, jealousy, greed, drunkenness, wickedness, and what have you. All those things slow down the rate of vibration of the earth planet. It is a natural phenomenon that the evil deeds of inhabitants on the planet retard their own development and that of the planet, whose vibration and rate of spin in orbit is subsequently slowed down. In consequence, such laggards or foot draggers need to be relocated in space by the destruction of the portion of the planet that they occupied. If this is not done, if those laggards are not relocated, they do not only stand to endanger themselves, but their continuous stay on the planet will retard the vibration and work of the developed ones. The mode of creating a new environment in space for those failures is to gather them at the equator, where the speed of the planet is fastest, and by centrifugal force expand that portion into space at an appropriate distance from the parent planet, so that such spirits, if they work hard enough, can rejoin their fellow sisters and brothers in a future time. If they fail to do so, they will have lost the opportunity and gradually gravitate back into the primordial source, where they will be held down in agony for eons, for many years, unimaginable number of years. They will be held down until another opportunity is given in a future time. It is a general case that spirits who are in physical embodiment and presently living on the planets of our solar system, including this Earth planet, were once part of the sun, just as the moons are the dislocated homes of beings who were once living on planets. So, the failure of many people to live by the higher and lofty desires spelled doom for this Earth planet. Over 2,000 years ago, the conduct of humanity spelled doom for this Earth planet. God Jehovah, his angels and archangels could not have done anything. They couldn't have done much about the impending doom because they were externally directing affairs on earth. They were operating by law to lead humanity to Christ. And besides, they were not indwelling in the planet. They were outside of the planet and directing us. In the scheme of the seven worlds, and the seven worlds, we have spoken about them in our lecture number 4, number 5, and so on. In the scheme of the seven worlds, love, altruism, unity, sustenance, and renewal reside more in the second aspect of the Trinity, the Christ, unlike the third aspect, which is the Holy Spirit or Jehovah. Therefore, Christ needed to descend from the world of God into the last of the seven worlds, this physical world, in order to save the planet and its inhabitants. That is why Christ had to come. In John chapter 6, verse 38 to 41, we are told, "For I came down from heaven, not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent me. This is the Father's will, which has sent me, that of all which he had given me, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which sees the Son and believeth on him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day." The Jews then murmured at him, because he said, "I am the bread which came down from heaven." And they said, "Is not this Jesus, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then that he said, 'I came down from heaven'?" Jesus therefore answered and said unto them, "Murmur not among yourselves. No man can come to me except the Father which has sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of God. Every man therefore that hath heard and hath learned of the Father cometh unto me. Not that any man has seen the Father, save he which is of God. He has seen the Father." Indeed, a grand celestial meeting took place in the world of God, at which the Christ, the Son, voluntarily agreed to come to earth to fulfill the plan to restore humanity back onto the divine path, to regain the higher consciousness, which was lost when our eyes and self-consciousness were prematurely opened to the external world by the Lucifer spirits. Generally, God Jehovah has sufficiently worked to prepare humanity for this glorious divine intervention. There were a few people who obeyed the laws, yet their level of spirituality was enough to support the divine work. The Christ Spirit did not belong to the human race. Let us take note of this, that the Christ Spirit does not belong to the human race. The Christ has never crystallized in a material body like we have done. Neither has he ever used a vital body, the second body that human beings have. So how could he have come to live among men in order to have entry into the earth planet and has become its indwelling planetary spirit? How could that have been done? That the Christ Spirit can never be born and was not born of a human being is amply demonstrated in Matthew chapter 22, verse 41 to 44 as follows. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying, "What think ye of Christ? Whose son is he?" They say unto him, the son of David. He said unto them, how then does David in spirit call him Lord, saying, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit down on my right hand, till I make thine enemies thy footstool. If David then called him Lord, how is he his son? And no man was able to answer him a word, neither does any man from that day forth ask him any more questions. It is a universal law that no spirit can live and function in a body it has not learned to build. That is a universal law. The Christ's lowest body, the lowest body of the Christ, is the archangelic body, which he often does not use in the ordinary sense of the word. He doesn't even use the lowest of his body because he functions consciously in the highest world, which is the world of God, the realm where there is no differentiation. That is where the Christ functions because he is God. It is in this regard that a holy individual needed to be found among humanity, whose physical body or whose dense body and the vital body are untainted. They are clean and pure and could be aligned to that of the Christ Spirit for his descent. Of all people on earth, it was only one person, Jesus of Nazareth, who had the requisite quality. Let us talk about Jesus of Nazareth.
Filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see. Whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all this.